Bishop John. I'm talking about building church at home and how we can strengthen our faith even in these difficult times when we're not able to gather together in our churches. We celebrate the Feast of Pentecost. If we go back and put it in its context, this was yet another surprising event for the disciples. They've had so many shocks and surprises in these recent weeks. Entry into Jerusalem with a wonderful sense of all that Jesus was doing was coming to fruition. And then that awful horror and shock of his death. Then the surprise of the resurrection. He's back with us. And there he is again in those days after the resurrection, the teacher and the guide, the leader. And they have to learn again to be disciples, following the Lord and learning from him. But then there comes that moment of the ascension, and he says, I'm going now, I'm going back to the Father. And here's a mission for you. Go out to the whole world, proclaim the good news and baptize. And they must have thought, how on earth do we do that? And he says, I'll send you the advocate. He'll remind you of everything I said to you and lead you in all truth. And that must have been puzzling, but suddenly he's gone. And they're there having to make decisions. They've got to build church, not only locally in Jerusalem, but think about going out to the whole world. And then we have the wonderful feast of Pentecost, when the Spirit of God is given to them. And yes, step by step, they begin to organize things, and they begin that mission that God has given to them. They go out, they're learning how to build community, how to witness to their faith, and they achieve so much more than they could possibly have imagined, and so much more than they can measure. And Pentecost needs to be that moment for us when we remember that we set out to do the right things, but with the power of God, with the Spirit working in us and through us, we can achieve so much more than we can imagine, so much more than we'll probably ever know. So let's celebrate the Feast of Pentecost. It ensures us again and guarantees that we're not on our own, that we're living our faith, but we're strengthened by the grace of God working through us by the Holy Spirit. We can achieve so much. We may never be able to measure what we do or see what we've achieved, but it goes on and it works. And through 21 centuries, the Spirit has been at work in the church, and that's why we're a global church with great work going on in our own day. Let's be sure that we play our part, that we recognize that God is in us and that we are to be his ambassadors, sent out to carry on his mission in all those opportunities, decisions and choices of every day. They all count. And if we're trying to do the right thing, the Spirit of God works in us and through us. Keep safe and well in these difficult days, and let's emerge from this pandemic even stronger in that sense of faith and vocation and mission.